Girls, ladies and gentlemen, to another actually quarterfinal matchup. I know before the commercial break I was saying that we're going to be hopping into another semifinal match, but instead we're actually hopping into with another quarterfinal match. We've got the Pals versus off against the Boys, who are back in town, apparently according to their team name. But on Pals, we've got JoeyNubzy, Arcitys, Maux, and Xotic, so a full pro team. Versus the Boys, who are obviously back in town, apparently. We got Parasite, Felo, Nagafen, all from the prior Complexity team. Or the current, I mean, obviously, it's still a thing. Who knows if they're still on Complexity or not? Roster changes are obviously a thing. But as far as we know, they're still on the Complexity roster. And also with Dashy, interesting enough. And for those who have been kind of scouring on Twitter, much like I have, the roster mania nut that I am, I've been kind of doing some research. And it's actually the fact that General has, in fact, said that he's kind of taking offers from other organizations now, not really kind of sticking to the Enigma 6 brand. And if that's the case, that probably means that all players that were under the E6 brand are probably kind of free agents now, which could potentially be that Dashy is a free agent. Of course, that does remain to be seen. That is not 100% confirmed, just land in speculation. But this could definitely be, in some cases, not a tryout, but a, you know, an option to see how these guys play together. Because, you know, maybe in the future, whether or not how soon that future is, something can happen. And to me, Dashy, without question, is kind of on my radar for this year as far as kind of a really kind of breakout star. I know I believe it was at NOLA, I want to say that he had the highest KD in back-to-back tournaments. I think in Dallas and NOLA. At least at one point, he had one of the highest KDs. I think he ended up with like a 1.27. At least was top 3. I might have been top 3, but I know had like around a 1.27 KD. And respawns, which is just absurd to see. And I know he's really going to kind of exceed expectations when it comes down to the new meta, which of course is kind of very FG42 orientated. This gun essentially is back, basically, to kind of put it even enough. As the for those who didn't know, patch kind of recently came out, definitely kind of increased the FG42 when it comes down to its recoil and its fire rate. This gun definitely kind of becomes the go-to once again, which all the SMG, the PPSH players are kind of writhing in pain and yet again kind of crying, basically, to say the least. But still, looking on right now, take a look at the scorecard. It is a 70-25 advantage as JoeyNubzy on the flank does take out Felo, who's trying to come through cave. So that rotation toward Castle Road is incredibly important, and it looks like the guys from Pals are fully aware of such. As Xotic even has an FG42. That just goes to show, you know, when the FG42 is back, when you're seeing even play like Xotic actually rock it. But JoeyNubzy actually on a 3 spree, doing some damage. Doing his role, got 22 seconds inside of the hard point, doing all he can. As Parasite is there to take him out, drops 2. Parasite also trying to work with his teammate Dashy to try to hop inside of the hard point, and just like that, Dashy does find enough kills to get some streaks. He's got the fighter pilot, he's got the glide bomb, and they also do possess that lead. 15 seconds left, still inside of Castle Road. Very crucial seconds when it comes to the overall scheme of a map. And it looks like those last 10 seconds are going to go the way of Pals. As off that early rotation now coming in toward turret, you see Nagafen holding this very far up position, takes out one, drops the second nearly though, not able to find it officially, and ends up getting taken out. So with turret now up, we'll see who's kind of in control of that hard point. It looks like Dashy locking down some time, has players coming from every which way, and will get taken out as the subs from Pals start to get orientated into this map. JoeyNubzy and Xotic getting involved in that kill feed. Dashy, though, coming from the skies, takes out one. He's going to have another streak to work with when it comes down to the rest of this map. We'll see where he obviously can try to add toward his arsenal. But Parasite doing some work inside of the hill as the guys from Boys Are Back in Town have reached over that 100-second mark. And it looks like as the first rotations do conclude, it is a pretty solid lead, to say the least, at the moment. And, you know, of course, one guy definitely not really playing his best is Arcitys. I'm totally kidding. We kind of know. But gonna put it lightly. JoeyNubzy was kind of tweeting me at coming into this series, was kind of discussing, you know, he's gonna have to carry Arcitys when it comes into this series. And I'm fully aware that at any moment there's an opportunity for where he's just gonna turn up. He's just gonna absolutely destroy, and I feel like that can happen at any moment. As you know, that always remains to be seen. He's just heating up. I have full confidence in search and destroy. If they don't win this hard point, I mean, hey, I'm expecting at least 12 kills in the SD. That's what I told him. But looking on here, Nagafen doing some work. Just kind of takes out 3 in quick succession as the full pin center hardpoint seems to be going their way, at least for the time being. Rotation is still in their marks, and right now Nagafen is just not holding back As actually, I think due to the amount of kills that Nagafen found through middle, he might have actually flipped the spawns, so kind of too much dominance being shown, essentially. But Dashy, though, still does have that glide bomb. So with that in mind, they do pick off Maux inside of pit center hardpoint. The rotation now starts to come in, but look at the last two players, though. Player number 1 and player number 4, Arcitys and Xotic, just spawned out. So potential back-to-back flips coming in for either of these teams. As Arcitys tries to make his way back toward the hill, but gets it getting taken out, and Dashy getting involved in the kill feed yet again, finds 2. Nagafen finds the 3rd, and just like that, 10 streak in total for Nagafen and Dashy alike, as they are obviously in prime control of this hard point for the time being, as Felo desperately trying to hop back inside Fort Courtyard. Xotic on the head glitch just gets ripped off of it, and that's rather unfortunate to see. But outliers right now, without question, are Nagafen, Dashy, and Parasite. I mean, Parasite double positive, Nagafen 22 and 13, Dashy double positive. It's just kind of it's rather unfortunate, I think it's fair to say. 130-second advantage as Courtyard starts to come to a close, nearly already at 200 seconds are the boys who are obviously back in town now. They're obviously back in town, I think it's fair to say. Their team name obviously fitting with the current scoreline for the time being. But however, though, rotation coming in toward Castle Road. It's in favor of Pals, and we'll see if they can try to hold on to this lead, or try to hold on to this hard point, rather, trying to get back in that lead position, as they've not really been in it the entire game. But still, there's still positives, potentially. There's still some light at the end of the tunnel, I think, but starting to kind of close out that tunnel. The fighter pilot trying to take out Nubzy and Xotic. Trying to weather the storm, though. And it looks like trying to at least take him out from no man's land. Goes for the melee, but ends up getting stabbed. Dashy just says a punch to the face is nice, but actually here's the knife to the throat. Enjoy that. As last 25 seconds seem to be going the way yet again of the guys on Pals. Of course, they are in prime control of the lead. They've got a lot going their way. And of course, like I said, the last few seconds start to dissipate. But the rotation is obviously very important for both of these teams. I think it's fair to say, especially for the guys under Pals, as Maux and Xotic both are here. Dashy from above. Actually, not a streak from him. It's a streak from someone else. And I think it's fair to say that probably every single player, maybe excluding Felo, probably has streaks at this point. As Nagafen on a 5 spree, Dashy on a 1. Not really a spree, but you get the point. Felo looking toward Archers, trying to cut these players off, and doesn't take out Arcitys. I'm trying to find positives. I'm doing my best. I'm really being like, okay, well, they find a kill. There's an opportunity for them to come back in this game. But take a look at the scorecard. I mean, it's 246 to 68. And this one's done. Yeah, Maux can't get inside the hard point in time, and this one ends pretty quickly, I think it's fair to say. As I mean, honestly, JoeyNubzy really did all he could. I mean, he was kind of doing his very best throughout this game, and I think really it's going to be Arcitys, Maux, and Xotic to really step things up. You know, despite him going double negative, I mean, the communication, the leadership this guy brings is it's kind of like a theory moment when you're like looking at TK, and it's like, why is theory double negative? It's like, well, he provides communication. He's the glue of the team. That's kind of what JoeyNubzy does, I think, for the squad. Also gets the most time inside of the hard point. So, I mean, generally, you're looking at Arcitys and Xotic, and you're just like, what are you guys doing? Like, Xotic, why do you have 12 seconds in the hard point? Granted, you did get 68 seconds, so it's like, you know, we get it. But I don't know. It's obviously unfortunate to see. The boys are back in town, and they did not really, I mean, they were out for blood, I think it's fair to say. I mean, they weren't really holding back by any means. Nagafen finishes off 30 and 16, Dashy 16 and 9, and Parasite 23 and 13 as well. So, I mean, 70-point club to map 1. Probably taking map 2, I think it's fair to say. But hey, there's still positives, right? When you are a squad like this in Search and Destroy, there are things you can take from it. It's a lot easier to kind of find kills. It's all about timing at Search and Destroy. And maybe on St. Marie du Mans, if they can start to establish some strats, maybe. I mean, I think it's a lot. Okay, let's just be honest. In Search and Destroy, I think it's a lot easier to get carried than it is in Hardpoint. So, you know, we'll just kind of leave it at that. We're just going to leave it at that. But St. Marie du Mans, of course, will be map number 2. Also curious to see when it comes into both these teams, how does the kind of defense spawn change up? I know in our prior series between the ex-Doom Clan team and Rampy squad of SJH, they didn't really see a whole lot of a change. There really wasn't much of a momentum switch for the most part. we were seeing pretty much typical B bomb site hits over and over and over again. I think we ended up seeing maybe 2 A site hits, but generally, I think at one point it really didn't work out very well. So I think for the most part, we're going to be seeing both teams kind of stick toward B. But like I said, strats could definitely kind of be out there. I think utility is much more important for the offensive team, kind of still looking on. Just because they no longer have that kind of solidified advantage, they really kind of have to rely either on a smoke or a gas grenade to kind of make sure they can kind of brute force their way into that bomb site a little bit faster, because now they kind of have the disadvantage. And I think generally, when we're looking at St. Marie Dumont, I mean, obviously it's kind of favored toward the defensive team, but it's a very awkward scenario for the defensive team a lot of the time. There's a lot of like strategy, I'm sure, that's kind of being brought into every single round, because they're thinking, okay, if they're going B, we like, it's like, you know, you can easily be tricked on St. Marie Dumont when you're on defense, because you want to send a lot of troops over to that B bomb site. You don't want to let them get control, because if you send too many players for the B bomb site, then A is totally wide open. So there's a few times where we kind of look at this map, and we can obviously say it's very favored toward the defensive team. But like I said, prior to this kind of spawn change happening, they also had a pretty difficult task as well to kind of try and hold on to that control and to realize what's kind of going on with the offensive strats and whatnot. So I think St. Marie Dumont should obviously be an interesting map. I believe we are going to be loading up. I don't think we actually see a host change whatsoever, so I'm pretty sure that the boys who are back in town are still hosting for map number 2. That was obviously the reason why they won map 1. I mean, obviously just, you know, it's host, obviously, 250-68. I mean, it's host. Everyone knows it's host. But still, 1-0 advantage. Put in the chat. I want to know percentages, exactly. Percentages as to how likely Pals are to win this map, too, because I think they're pretty high. I would probably give at least 8%, I think, maybe 9%, maybe double-digit percentage. I don't know. Feel free to put your predictions in the chat. I'm interested to see what they can do. And, yeah, I think that's really all there is to it. I think we're going to hop into the game, see... actually, I'm going to hop in more with the defensive team off the break. I want to be seeing what the spawns are looking like for them, what they're going to try to do on their effort here. As we take a look at Arcitys' point of view off the start, does rock the bar. I think it's fair to say. And based off of his weapon in particular, it most likely seems as if they're going to be making their way to B bomb site. FG42 is good, but not the most, kind of the easiest weapon to kind of rush for. So it looks like off the start, Pals making their way toward B. And it looks like on the offensive side, let's take a look at that minimap in the left corner. Not the case whatsoever. A full man rush toward the left side of your map, a.k.a. the A side. And look at this, actually. The bomb very, very slowly rotated. I believe that's because Nagafen probably was holding that top control area. Felo takes out the second. Xotic coming from above. Get some assistance there from Arcitys. So a 2 versus 3. Nagafen going for the plant, and Arcitys not getting any hit markers, is not fully aware the bomb is now planted. Of course, now gets the indicator. And they have the opportunity to try and retake this. Shots exchanged through mid-map. Dashy doing a solid role in this position, just kind of trying to delay the players coming through mid. I believe him and Arcitys could be in a fight at any moment, and just like that, Arcitys actually ends up getting dropped, and I believe Xotic does as well. So first round going the way of boys. We're back in town. It's really hard for me to say that team name. Like, the boys are back in town. I don't really know. Back in town? I guess I could call them that. I'm not sure. But still, make an offside hit. Obviously works out very well for them. They completely kind of catch the guys from Pals off guard, as it's pretty much expected that. And I'm actually taking a look at the chat right now. Based on the percentages that we could see the guys from Pals winning this match, I'm seeing a 20% chance. That's a pretty decent, opportunity. Like 1 in 5. I would take those odds. Probably not. Also, I see a -1%, 0%. That person has no positive feelings toward them whatsoever. And I also see -112%. That's very specific. So pretty much no one is thinking that Pals are going to win this game. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb and say they at least win 2 rounds. I'm not sure if that's really any credit toward them whatsoever, but regardless, Xotic taking out 1. Lone Ranger at the moment. Parasite literally feeling so confident he sits outside of top restaurant window. As a Nagafen, though, with that sniper, could shut down Xotic, but just checking the opposite side. Xotic has made his way into that bomb. It should be good for the plant. Yeah, Nagafen's not in a position to challenge in any way. Going to have to go for the quick rush, and hopefully Nagafen does pick up a weapon off the ground, because a sniper in close quarter range is not the preferred weapon of choice, but the machine pistol can definitely do some work. Around in the corner. Nagafen looking for a peek. Doesn't spot him out, but might try to go for the sneak diffusion. Yes, he is. Does Xotic challenge this? Does Xotic no? And he does indeed. Xotic goes for the challenge, and they do win a round. It's 1-1. It's tied. It's tied. Now look at that little helmet from Nagafen. Looks like he's been grinding in the ranked playlist. Not sure exactly what helmet that was. I think that might have been the master helmet. Maybe. Not exactly sure, to be honest with you. I think it might be. Not 100% sure, though. I'm never going to see the helmet on my character's head, so, you know, whatever. But Parasite and Co tossing out the stuns. The nades as Arcitys gets met with a few utility as Parasite takes out JoeyNubzy for the first blood. Looking from above, Dashy trying to pick off a few players, but it looks like Arcitys actually dolphin dives in toward this corner, and Dashy gonna pre-fire him. Arcitys stands no chance whatsoever to escape from that position, but Maux is able to shut down Felo. At the same time, though, Parasite takes down his teammate Xotic, and now just like that, Maux 1 versus 3. Good luck, my friend. Yeah, good luck with that. Tries to get through that narrow corridor, and it's not gonna work anytime soon. So back-to-back offensive wins, as we'll see Nagafen actually. And the Bronze Star gets the, I think that was a headshot. Kind of close things out. As like I said, offense and defensive round victories for the boys who are back in town. And Arcitys, I mean, just needs to pick it up, quite frankly. I mean, 1-3. Has only found 1 kill. Gosh, just needs to pick it up. Tossing out the stun, though. We'll see what they can do coming into this. And this is just like the difference that we see in the spawn control. Felo is already here. Like, Felo is just in that advanced position, has airborne to kind of get to that particular spot. And that's the difficulties that offensive teams are now going to have when it comes down to this map, is that how quickly that rotation can be made, how quickly defensive players can get there, but Dashy up close just takes out 1 for the first blood. And Felo takes out, was that 2 at the end there? Oh my goodness, Felo and Dashy up close and personal. Just decimating the pals. Decimating the friends. It's rather unfortunate to see. I mean, these guys are not messing around whatsoever. They're not having any fun. They're not giving any rounds away. It is now a 3-1 round advantage, as Maux and Co look to try to do what they can to use the pieces, try to make a puzzle, try to get around together, try to get something forward. And Nagafen still with that sniper rifle is definitely going to be a nuisance. As Dashy does drop Arcitys. Maux the back lines. He's trying to watch his teammates fall as it is JoeyNubzy and Maux in a 2 versus 3 as Maux does get the side peek there onto Dashy. It's a big pick to find. Around the corner again as Maux, but ends up finding another kill. JoeyNubzy really needs to get on this flank soon because there's not a whole lot of time remaining. It looks like based off the positioning, Maux is going to come from top red. Nubzy from the flank. Can you find a kill on the Felo? Not able to drop it, and now Maux already getting pre-fire. Does take out 1. I mean, Maux has only found 3 kills in this round, and he's not going to win it. He might find the ace, but nothing really much more added on to that, as does drop Nagafen, finds the ace in the round, but regardless, speaking of 4s, it's the 4th one granted for the guys on Boys Are Back in Town. 4 rounds to 1. Despite the solid effort coming in from Maux, even an ace is not enough. That's rather it's kind of unfortunate to see, to be honest with you. Will we see 007 from JoeyNubzy? Is it possible? Can he do it? Maux finds the first blood. Maux is just doing everything he can. He's literally on a 5 spree right now. And JoeyNubzy ends up getting taken out. 0-5. Just saying. I mean, hey. It's a solid club to be in. I mean, I know a lot of pros who are in that club. I'm in that club. I'm in that club many times. And pre-firing. Don't tell me Felo actually wins this. Like, Felo is literally pre-firing up the stairs and nearly takes out Xotic in that situation. So, Xotic 1v2. Pre-firing through the wall and actually gets some hit markers on the Nagafen. Of course, that looks a lot less impressive in the Codcaster, but still, that is a picture-perfect shot. Doesn't find the kill necessarily, but Parasite is here for the challenge as a lot of rounds go in the way of boys are back in town. I think we need a JoeyNubzy cam. Can we actually hop on board with him real quick? All right. This is the time. This is his opportunity to find a kill and prove all the haters wrong. Can he find one? Dashy in that top position. We're not going on any board with anyone else. I don't care if he dies off the break. We're going to watch his dead body. No, I'm just kidding. But Dashy actually, I think, just fired a bullet past JoeyNubzy's ear, and now he's a little bit worried. Tossing out the nade onto the bottom stairs. Hiding behind Arcitys as Arcitys happens to take out Felo. It's almost as if like they know where exactly JoeyNubzy is. But Maux takes out Parasite. And I'm being totally honest with you. I mean, if we want to see 007, like, Pals have to win this round. Like, they have to get at least see 7 rounds of play. Or actually, extra round of play. But now, left up to Nubzy. Can he get it done? 1 versus 2. Bomb was planted in an awkward position, to say the least. But can he take down Dashy? Can he take down Nagafen? Getting shots on the Nagafen. Takes out 1. And now left up to find Dashy. No 007 club for him, and knows where he is. Dashy with a sniper rifle out. Can he waste the time? Can he find him right in the corner? Trying to run the corner, but he can't find him. He can't find him. Dashy will stay alive, and for good measure, the sniper shot to the back. And his ring around the rosy. Dashy will win this schoolyard game. And has a Car 98K bullet to the back of the head just for good measure. As the Pals will unfortunately fall. Yeah, that's really all I have to say, to be honest. That's all I really have to say. I mean, we obviously see a decent performance coming from the guys on Pals. Nubzy really coming clutch with that 1 kill at the end. And Maux finishes off 9-6. I mean, I think the guy literally had an ace and then was on a 5 spree at one point. Really did all he could, but it obviously wasn't enough. We see the guys from Boys who are back in town obviously dominate their way through this game. They win Hardpoint and Gibraltar. They 70-point club the opposition. They win Search and Destroy 6 rounds to 1. I mean, this is literally, there couldn't be more of a difference between Series 1 and Series 2. Literally, we see the exact same maps. In Series 1, it was a 6-point game. And in Map 2, it was a round 11. And this one, it's a 70-point club in Map 1 and only 1 round victory in Map 2. But still, though, like I said, the backpacks just weren't big enough. JoeyNubzy did all he could. But like I said, the Arcitys, Xotic, and Maux, I mean, hey, they really just need to improve right now. I mean, Arcitys, 3-7, pretty much unacceptable. And, really needs to try and get his game back. What I feel when it's just you and me. I'm falling on my knees just to see.